Alright, what's going on everybody? Welcome back to another video here on the channel, and today we are going to be talking about the RiceGum situation. Now, unfortunately, this is a very sad story that we have to cover here today, and realistically, I wouldn't even be talking about this or covering it in a YouTube video today if it wasn't for the way that people reacted to this entire situation. And I want to be fair, and I want to say that the people that I'm talking about specifically in this video that have, been trying to clown RiceGum, been trying to make fun of him or like poke fun at his loss in this situation, they do not represent the majority of people's reactions online. For the most part, I would say like probably 90 to 95% of the reaction to this entire situation has been honestly probably just about what you would expect. People expressing their sympathy and their condolences to RiceGum and his girlfriend for the situation that they're currently enduring. Just trying to show them some love and some support during a rough time, which is, I would say, the appropriate, correct reaction. But unfortunately, then there's still that couple of percent, that very small vocal minority of people that have absolutely taken this situation to a completely different level, and the things that they're saying and doing online right now are absolutely insane. And it's truthfully really disgusting to see people act this way. I know people, they say, oh bro, you gotta expect stuff like this on the internet, right? Like, there's always gonna be people online who just don't care, they don't have feelings, they're gonna make fun of anything, they're gonna say whatever they want. And I'm not here to tell you what you can say, what you can't say, what you can joke about, what you can't joke about. All I'm here to tell you and remind you is that the way you act and the way you portray yourself and the things you say, they have consequences. And when everybody points at you and says, hey, that guy's a fucking douchebag, he should be ashamed of himself, don't sit there and cry and complain that you're getting fucking made fun of or quote unquote canceled for saying stupid shit. It really just kind of comes down to that, man. So tragically, the last 48 hours, we have learned of a pretty terrible situation with RiceGum. Yesterday, he uploaded a video called Baby Girl to his YouTube channel with over 10 million subscribers. It's about a 3-minute long video. The majority of the video is just, video clips of RiceGum and his girlfriend going to doctor's appointments and traveling and doing all these other things in anticipation for their child. If you didn't know, RiceGum was preparing to become a father to a child, a baby girl actually, as referenced by the title of his YouTube video. And unfortunately, later in the video, he announces that about 35 weeks into the pregnancy, the baby was stillborn, meaning that, the girl delivered the baby and everything, but unfortunately, the baby had passed away. Now, according to RiceGum's video, they ran a bunch of tests, on the genetics and medical tests and whatnot to see what could have potentially caused for this baby to lose its life, but the mother was induced into labor for 48 hours, and unfortunately, none of the tests gave any sort of answers. So in terms of why this baby tragically passed away, there's not really any sort of knowledge, nobody really knows exactly what the cause is of this entire thing, but all that is apparent is that the baby was lost, and unfortunately, RiceGum and his girlfriend have had to go through a very traumatizing, very tragic experience that genuinely shouldn't be wished on anyone, man. I mean, you have to imagine how horrible and traumatizing and painful that it's gotta be, to spend months of your life preparing in anticipation to have your first child, I believe RiceGum's first child, go through, all the doctor's appointments and visits and mentally preparing yourself, and I'm assuming probably buying things for the baby just for, at the finish line a few weeks before the baby would have been born healthily. Unfortunately, tragedy struck. So obviously, first and foremost, my condolences have to go to RiceGum and his family in this situation. I mean, this is, like I said, it's something I wouldn't wish on anyone, man. Like, it's just a horrible, horrible thing for someone to have to go through. But unfortunately, like I said, there's that subsection of people online that have reacted to this, and their first reaction is to, comment like, some bullshit, right? To tweet some stupid shit, basically trying to, make light of the situation. And like I said, I'm not here to tell people like, oh, you can and can't joke about these types of things, right? I get it. Some people just have like really dark senses of humor and whatnot. But once again, man, like, you can't sit there and be surprised that when you say stupid shit like that at a completely inconvenient and insensitive time, that people are gonna dogpile on you and call you a fucking asshole. And that's my problem with people who make these types of jokes, right? They'll sit there and make an edgy ass joke like that, and then when everyone doesn't immediately hail them as some master of comedy and they kind of just call them an asshole, asshole, they sit there stunned and surprised as if they just have zero social awareness and don't know the proper etiquette to act in any sort of serious situation whatsoever. I mean, like I said, people can joke about it, you know, you can say whatever you want, like it's not my right to tell you what you can and can't say, but don't be surprised when everyone thinks that you're just a complete piece of shit. And I think what it really comes down to, right, is, you know, RiceGum, he was a controversial creator, you know, for a long time. He had the content cop situation with iDubbbz. Lots of people didn't really like RiceGum because they found him egotistical and braggadocious and, you know, like a clout chaser or whatever, but I don't know, man, my moral compass tells me that no matter how much you dislike someone as a YouTube creator, right, no matter how much you dislike their online persona, you shouldn't be sitting here happy that they're child died. You know what I mean? Like, that's not a normal reaction whatsoever. And I know that, you know, not everyone making jokes about this is like genuinely happy or whatever that RiceGum's daughter passed away, but you gotta realize that there's a time and a place for shit like that, man. And like right after this situation just broke and people are kind of just now, you know, reacting to everything going on, it's really not the time for it. But then, unfortunately, there's people who are being legitimately more sinister about this entire thing. And, you know, they're not just making some little edgy joke or whatever in a Reddit comment or something. They're actually trying to manipulate and use this situation to their own benefit, for their own clout, right? And we see people do shit like this pretty much any time really anything happens on the internet, right? You know, someone passes away or any sort of situation that's tragic unfolds. You have people who make YouTube videos, you know, oh, 3 a.m. challenge, calling them back from the dead and shit like that. Now, thankfully, I haven't seen that kind of video in particular in this situation because that would be actually just criminally vile and insane and would just be disgusting on all regards. But unfortunately, there are people making videos just saying vile, outrageous, outlandish shit just for the sake of getting attention on the internet. Now, the video that I'm about to play for you guys, I'm not going to link any channel. I'm not going to tell you who made this video because in all reality, man, I don't want to sit here and, you know, give this guy the attention that he wants. Like, it's very clear that this video was recorded in an effort to upset people as they react to the news, right? You know, they go on YouTube, they look up whatever it is that's going on, and his video may pop up, right? And then when his video pops up, obviously people get really pissed off because what this guy is saying is that outrageous. So I don't want to sit here and give this guy any credit. We're just going to go ahead and bully him with just the video.
So, RiceGum's baby deserved to die. You know why? Because the baby was just pathetic. Like, imagine being born in 2023 and then dying for no reason. That's just pathetic. It's just sad how you people support these Satanists making these babies, so the next generations can be even worse. You guys see?
So, yeah, obviously this guy is just doing this for attention, right? He's not doing this because he, I would hope, legitimately believes this. It's just clear that he's saying shit for shock value and to upset people and just piss people off. Now, this might actually have served to backfire this guy because as I look through the comments of his video, there are multiple references to people attempting to or potentially even successfully doxing this guy. As in, people that are watching this video are now going out of their way to try and find this guy's name, his employer, all these other things, right? Because they feel that this is, you know, how they're gonna get justice or whatever. They want the employer and people in his personal life to see this video of this guy saying this completely ridiculous and wreck shit because, you know, it's gonna ruin his life or whatever. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and assume that a person who is such a fucking loser that they would make something like this for really any reason, I'm gonna assume that he probably doesn't have that many family and friends to really send this shit around to. Plus, I don't personally really condone doxing the guy over the entire thing. I mean, yeah, he's a fucking asshole for making this video, right? Like, he's a scumbag who is clearly trying to use this video to get himself some attention and some clout, but at the end of the day, I'm not gonna condone committing a crime against the guy because, you know, of an internet thing, right? So, it just really makes sense that when you look this guy in his face, that this is the type of person who would be making this kind of video. Like, if I didn't see this video and I had to imagine the kind of person that would make something like this, I mean, this would have been like the fucking mugshot to do it right there, man. Like, whenever you see these types of, like, depraved online fucking sociopaths who do stuff like this, trying to get attention and trying to get a little clout to their name because, you know, they don't have any, like, legitimate skill, any legitimate passion, anything that makes them interesting as a person, it's just ironic that they always turn out to be just like this, you know what I mean? mean? That it just is this kind of person. So it's just wild, like the depths that people will sink to in order to try to get some attention on the internet, man. Like there's a billion different ways to go viral and to get your name out there and to get some attention, and you always have losers like this who try to scrape whatever little modicum of attention that they can off the nutsack of the internet, and they never like pick a way to do it where people will respect them. That's what I don't get. Like if you're gonna try and get the attention, you're gonna try and get your little fucking 15 minutes of fame, you know, where people bully you and, you know, completely destroy you. Maybe do it for a reason that's legit, right? Like, I mean, imagine being known as the guy, like in your fucking local town or whatever, right? As that fucking online loser who records videos making fun of people's babies dying. Like, if this was medieval times, they would have banished this idiot out of the community and he would have starved to death in a forest somewhere. So ultimately, you know, you might be sitting here saying or thinking, oh, well, Optimus, what makes this really any different from any other, you know, tragic situation that happens online? And, you know, I guess realistically nothing. I mean, this is really my take regardless. Like, just because you don't like somebody on the internet, you know, you don't find their YouTube content entertaining, or you don't agree with their takes, or really whatever the case may be, like if that person isn't like a legitimate fucking scumbag who like the world would be better off without, I mean, like, should we really be sitting here making fun of somebody who is going through this? Like, you might be sitting here like, oh, Optimus is a pussy, this is how the internet acts. It's like, dude, I've been online for the better part of 20 years now, you know what I mean? I've been using the internet for the vast majority of my life, and I just don't find that to be a legit excuse. Like, yeah, you can sit here and blame being a depraved piece of shit on, oh bro, it's just the internet, or you can realize that the people on the other side of this are human beings behind a screen. Like, I know that sounds cliche, you know, and maybe it's a little hypocritical because I've definitely done my fair share of clowning people online and being an asshole, but ultimately, man, this is not a situation where this guy is deserving of criticism or jokes, right? Like, this is a genuine tragedy. And the last thing that really needs to happen right now is people just adding more negativity to the situation and being even bigger assholes because they feel like they got a one-up card to do it, right? Like, just because, you know, RiceGum has had a controversial online career or whatever, doesn't mean people need to be fucking assholes. That's just the way that I see it. You might disagree with me, you might think it's okay to joke about, and that's fine, but hey, when you're sitting there and people all think you're a fucking scumbag and you have no friends and you're sitting there wondering why that is, don't sit there and fucking ponder too hard because the answer's right in front of you. So, with that being said though, thank you guys for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you're brand new around here on the channel, follow me over on Twitter and Twitch at @subtooptimus. Make sure to check out Shoptimus down below. Thank you to my Watch Optimus subscribers. Your support helps the channel tremendously. And until my next video, guys, this is Optimus, well, talking about these people clowning RiceGum for losing his baby, and signing out.